We usually have very nice products, we have very beautiful services, but how do we sell?
Wherever I feel that the value I am getting is less than the price I am paying, there cannot be an acquisition.
Talking about price, talking about value, and that do they necessarily have to match?
Whenever you take a product like this, you must answer three things. What is this? What does it do? What will it do for me? When we talk about value unfortunately is determined by the consumer, not the producer. What can you do so that the consumer will see value in that which you are putting out? That is the question that business people must ask themselves and solve.
I'm here with Maxwell. Maxwell, what is sales?
James, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So I would say that sales is the process of getting a product to the consumer. You know, the thing is that most of us are very eager to develop products or services. So we go into business with a nice idea of what problem there is to solve. Business says is to solve problems, so we are very familiar with those. But how do we get the consumer to be able to appreciate what it is that we are offering? I say two things, that sales is always an interplay between price and value. If you have this phone like you're holding now, I feel that this phone gives me value. I pay a certain amount for it. Wherever I feel that the value I am getting is less than the price I am paying, there cannot be an acquisition. So you can look at it from an equation sort of. If I see that the value I am getting is higher than the price I am paying, then there will be an acquisition. That is what we can call sales. Because a lot of businesses are not deliberate about sales, so we don't even begin to build that mindset from within. So you interacted with businesses where people are doing great stuff, but nobody is aware how we get this thing out there. And people are very busy, but their activity does not move the needle because it does not either communicate the value of what they have or find a way of reducing the price. It's two simple dynamics. Either your price makes sense or your value makes sense. That is when they can be a sale.
Talking about price and talking about value, that do they necessarily have to match? Because you know there's this whole mindset that probably because of high competition or within, you need to reduce your prices, you need to be competitive price-wise to give a certain kind of value. Also, there's also this school of thought saying that you don't really have to look at price. Once the value is good, you attract its right audience.
But what you must understand is that the consumer is rational. And I tell people that whenever you take a product like this, you must answer three things. What is this? What does it do? What will it do for me? So what this will do for me is different from what it would do for you. Assuming this will make my child, whom I've not seen in 5 years, super excited to hug me, it is priceless. But that is the value I will place on it. For you, it may just be a decorative piece on your center table. How much you would be willing to pay for it will be different. So when we talk about value unfortunately is determined by the consumer, not the producer. So what can you do so that the consumer will see value in that which you are putting out? That is the question that business people must ask themselves and solve. The theory about reduced price to be competitive is fine, but how do we go into people's mind and let them appreciate the value that we are putting out there? How do we tell the story that people will see that which we are giving from different angles and come to terms to the point that this solves a problem for me? Humans are selfish. So that is the consumer's mindset. What does this do for me? It's not what is this? So often businesses are very busy answering the question, what is this? So very busy about designing the product features. But the real question is that what problem is this solving for Maxwell? What problem is this solving for Maxwell? Do we even know? Most time we are clueless because our products are just fine. But what real value the real value they give is the problem they solve for the customer. That's why I'm saying that spend more time in the customer's space, spend more time with the consumer, and get to understand why they buy this, because that is the only thing you are offering for sale. Once what they are buying solves a problem in their life, they'll be willing to pay the price. So I get people when they say that don't look at the price. But if you're not looking at the price, then you should be looking at the value. Otherwise, look at the value and forget about the price. Because if the value is so important to people, they will pay any amount for it.
Oh, okay. Maslow's theory of needs. Kind of get to like not selling necessarily when probably I need just food and you are giving me food, but are telling me the food comes with all of these things. Probably the only thing I need is to get is satisfy my need. Really get you, but I hear you talk about, I don't know whether to use the word perception as tying perception to value. Because using this as an example where I'd need probably give this to my son because I'm not going to see him for 5 years and that'll be value to him. So maybe the whole perception of this thing is not even tied to the physical thing anymore, but it's more tied to a kind of a bond between myself and then maybe my son. How is branding or brand relevance in sales?
Okay, so what we have focused on is the word branding, but what we have to come to terms is that branding is the process of pitching the product such that the customer sees value in it. That is how I look at it, that all that we do in brand building, brand management, is to help the customer to appreciate the value that we are offering. So the same thing we have there, if you took time and spend energy in product design, in branding it well, in as much as today it will still sit with my child as a piece of remembrance. How you bring it about, how you put it across, will even accentuate that memory more. If you do it haphazardly because we have heard that develop a product and sell, the value it will communicate will not be the same as if you were intentional and spent time and energy in pitching this thing to what the customer's own perception is.
Okay. So I hear you look at like specific targets. That's more like you need to like select the STP, select you target and then you position. So you know what your target market is. Oh. Oh yeah. So yes, how different is marketing? Talking about marketing, how different is it from sales? Because you find in larger groups, larger organizations, you'd have marketing separate from sales. Probably in smaller groups, you would see the same person doing sales, calling him or herself a marketer. Maybe with even smaller institutions again, you find the same salesperson doing brand management, doing sales and doing marketing. Is there really a difference?
So you look at it from the father of marketing, right? Kotler himself, when he proposed the 4 Ps, he said that the 4 Ps traditional, as we know, what? Product, place, price, and promotion. You will realize that the essence of product development is to get the product to people. The essence of promotion is to take the product that is designed according to what the consumer wants, again to people. The essence of promotion is to, again, to convey this particular thing to people. So sales, I would say that is that activity, that the conveyor belt for taking that product to people. Sales, I would say, that sits as one of the pillars under marketing, because if there was no product, there can't be sales. If there is no promotion, there can't be sales. If there is no scientific pricing, there cannot be sales. So this envelope, this big picture is marketing. Under that, we have different specific items that we have to put together to deliver this thing called marketing. And that one of it is brand building, one of it is sales, one of it is customer relationship management. All these different segments that we have used in corporation to describe different human beings work together to deliver that value. So you can refer to marketing as the process of delivering value and sales as one of the legs in delivering that value. I would go with that in a practical sense.
Okay, but what you say personally, I think I stand to be corrected though. I'm deducing that sales is that last engineer or is that last intersector between everything from brand awareness to brand building to product, everything to acquisition. It has that it has nothing to even do even saying this is where I am or this is where I stand, but this is saying buy.
This is why you need this product. This is the value this gives to you, right? Yeah, so it's really a piece of that big thing about delivering value. If marketing is that woman in the kitchen who prepares food for that children, then you can talk about sales as that dining table on which the food is set.
Oh. This is really cool. This is really, really cool. So we're still on sales and marketing, right? Let's say I run a small business. Yeah. I want to do insurance.
All right.
And where we come from, insurance is a big deal.
Okay.
Right, where we are still at the point of need. We want this food.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. How do you bridge the gap between marketing and sales in terms of when I want to run my small insurance business? Let me not even use insurance. I'll use savings and loans.
Okay.
Right. In a time where there's been a lot of interesting perception with savings and loans, feeling you're going to run away with your money, it's even fraud, you don't even have the capacity, and even with having to have a huge sum of capital to start.
Yeah.
Doing sales, doing marketing, how do I recoup whatever investments I've made?
All right. So and I say that look at marketing from the broader perspective. What problem are we looking to solve with this financial service firm? Is it to make money available to small businesses? Is it to support businesses that are in a particular sector? Is it to promote financial inclusion or financial sustainability? Whatever we decide, that is the value we want to give. Now, when we have come to terms with that, we now have to ask ourselves, what is it that will solve this problem for people? That brings us to our product design.
Okay.
How is it daily collection, daily mobilization? When we have designed those specific products, nobody knows what this product does until we begin telling people about it. Brand building coming. What name do we give this product? What face do we put to this product? Where do we communicate, let people become aware that we have this here? What media channels, social media, traditional media, what activation activities do we need to do? So we are doing all this. When we have done that and people know that which we are selling, how do people get this product? If somebody saw this advert, what is that thing he must do? If they saw it on, say, Facebook, are they to press a button? If they press, who will be at that end? We interacting with that person, that is sales. If they saw this, where can they get it? Are we going to get people to go to them and sell? That is sales. If they saw this, they're going to call us. If they call us, are we going to get somebody to speak to them on the phone? That is sales. So that last pillar between the product and getting that product to the customer, that acquisition piece is sales. But you cannot just get up and get to this place and say, I'm selling. We've gone way past that stage in marketing where it was just about designing nice product and people will buy. We are in this era where we must know what it is that people need and develop product for them based on their need and go further to build relationship around these products, experiences, This is what I term value. So that we lift up the value that the customer sees in the things that we are developing and the reason for which we get up every day and come to this place and all the other places where amazing and great things are being done.
Interesting. I've heard you talk about a lot of things from doing advertising, TV, radio, billboards, and even doing the digital markets and website SEO, social media, content marketing, and all of it, right? They're expensive.
Yes.
Because you find a lot of corporations, you find the finance team, and then over here we call our finance team numbers.
Yeah.
So if you find the finance team and then the markets, what we call it growth.
Yeah.
So for sake of what we use here, you find numbers and then growth, there's always a banter with budget.
Yeah.
What you have is extremely huge.
Yeah.
Budget-wise, doesn't really make sense as numbers. And then you find the whole, what's the name, growth team also saying, hey, this is what we really need to move your product. And you find operations to somewhere at the corner saying, you guys, why? We need to get the right product. How do you measure return on investment?
How do you measure business growth? I think that's really the question you're asking. If we put one CD down here, how do we measure that this one CD is giving us value? Now, you can look at measuring marketing numbers from different perspectives. You can measure by count of acquisition. I work with a business where our marketing spend is very targeted. The way we say that if we put $1 here, how much direct sales are we getting? That will work for a very short-term focused business. For a very long-term focused business, you will say that what does this spend that is not giving us money now do for us in the future? So the whole concept of return on investment is good because it helps us as business people to know that I put $1 here and I am getting sales is moving up by discount, acquisition is moving up by discount. So it means that as I spend $1 on marketing, I am getting a corresponding increase in revenue generating activities. But my point and what I tell numbers always is that assume that we stop spending for 5 years. If you will not make revenue, and revenue is the lifeblood of every business organization. So far as we need to breathe and have blood through us, we must breathe in, we must inhale oxygen. The spend that brings about that thing that keeps us living is marketing, right? So you can measure return on investment by the corresponding increase in revenue, corresponding increase in sales numbers. But what you must look out for is that how does this spend even position us for the future? How does this, because the thing about marketing is that sometimes what you spend money on today will not yield you returns now. I work with a business where at some point in time, you have to spend a lot of money rebranding. For 2018, 2019, it did nothing. But then COVID struck. Then when everybody was cutting budget, we said, no, we can't cut budget. We have to sink in more. And that year became the year that changed the course of the business. Because at that point, everybody was home. Everybody was glued to their television. Most businesses were being very conservative. Numbers people were leading. So business budgets for marketing were being cut. We said that let us sink more. So everybody was seeing this new brand. Everybody got to know us in 1 year. In 1 year, everybody forgot that that business existed with a prior name. And from that time, every day of this business's life has seen tremendous growth. No book will tell you that. Sometimes you just have to get up and go with your gut, because that's what business people do.
Super interesting. I remember there was this time we were having a conversation with one client of ours where we wanted to do social media marketing. And the first question that came was, how much would that bring me?
Yeah, that I heard those numbers a lot, but I tend to ask them, how much will not doing it cost you?
Probably you've been selling a lot on without digital media or new media.
Yeah, it's because you're not measuring. So you are counting what you have. You are not counting what you are foregoing. If businesses will pay attention and not only measure what they acquire, but also measure what they let go, they would see that probably one more CD or dollar spend will bring in 5 more CDs. But because we are holding on to one CD in the name of saving money, we are foregoing a great opportunity of growth.
Have you heard this statement that Tesla has $0 budget for advertising?
But the $0 budget for advertising may be true, but it may not mean they do not advertise. You see Elon Musk everywhere, talking out every shade. That in itself is a form of marketing. You know that. So if you can sit in your home and say that Tesla spends $0 on marketing, but you are not counting the cost of Tesla's intentional fight with big brands like Microsoft. Tesla's controversial statement like the things he does that most traditional CEOs will not do. So if you just go and say, Tesla is not spending on marketing, you are missing something. Assuming Elon Musk was quiet, said nothing, and Tesla had no marketing budget, that business was dead.
So yes, I think anytime Elon Musk sees anything, the stock rises. But it leads me to, there's a new, I don't know if it's a trend, but it's called CEO activism. Where right now you're finding, I don't think it's anything new because you look at a lot of corporate profiles and the first thing you see is CEO's message, which I find, but it's my own personal opinion. CEO activism. What is it really something that's here to stay, or we are just really following trends? Or you think it's a good model for every business to ride on?
I think it has existed. Probably we know how we christen things. We used to call something thought leadership, where one of the businesses I worked with, we intentionally tried to build the brand of the CEO so that it's represented this particular brand everywhere it stood. So in every opportunity we have, every controversial situation there was in the financial services sector, the CEO will make a statement, will say something. Those were intentional so that as soon as and that's what Elon Musk is doing, you come across this CEO, you connect his personal brand to the business brand. In doing that, businesses must be very careful because what it is that personal brands may not stay for a long time, but business brands are built with longevity in mind. And if you are not careful and the business goes through transition and you have to have a CEO who is now that charismatic, you will see that all of a sudden the projection that the business had will begin to decline, because then even though the CEO is not still in the chair, he's almost taking the brand away with him.
Oh, so your view is that I should build both the brand?
Be intentional about building the business brand and let the CEO sit as a sub, reinforce the business brand.
Super cool. That leads me to marketing is very dynamic. All right, CEO activism, yes, you said is a renaming of Christine of probably thought leadership and other things that we've had before. But marketing here is really never static.
Yeah.
What are the new trends in marketing? Are there any new trends, or is it the same thing that we keep recycling?
So there are a number of new trends that is coming into the marketing space. So when we began the journey, all we knew was below the line, above the line. We came into an age where we were what we call social media and digital marketing. Today, the trend marketing is moving into AI marketing, right? Where marketing people would have to become fast learners of AI tools available to us. Because what it is that yesterday I needed a copywriter in designing my creative conversation. Today, the basic copywriting can be done by an AI tool. It would take human proofreaders to still work on them although. But you see that a lot of the jobs that we used to have designers, today, even with Canva, anybody can design, depending on what it is that you are using for. So the roles and the most powerful people in marketing are losing their craft to AI. So I would say that the most transformative thing that is happening in the marketing space is what AI is doing to the work we do. Whilst it is making it easy for us to do, it requires more focus, more intentionality in applying its powers. Otherwise, we will get into this state that I call a state of chaos, right?
Interesting. AI, social media, influencer marketing, content marketing. Yeah. We assume these things are, to be honest, I honestly really feel we are just recycling things.
Of course, and I tend to agree with you. There's nothing new under the sun.
Agree.
Yeah, but what you would have to do is that if you don't learn fast in the age we are in, because also understand that everything we do in marketing is about the consumer. Whilst the consumer's way of evaluating things change, you as the producer cannot decide that, yeah, this is what I want to do, because you must develop whatever it is that you do to meet the needs. It must solve a problem and understand the basic question the consumer asks. What does this thing, what problem will this solve in my life?
Super interesting, but still with the same, we're still on trending things, and then you realize that print media, it's really going down, right?
Yeah.
Traditional media, to quote unquote, perception wise, it's going down, and probably people are finding the need to invest more in digital marketing.
And digital marketing itself, you can say that what traditionally how it was introduced to us is going. That's not what it is again.
So what?
Because yesterday you would be concerned about using, say, a Facebook, a Twitter, but today you want to do something exciting, funny on the TikTok, right? Today we are having this conversation also because the trends in marketing, digital marketing itself has changed.
True.
Yeah, yesterday we needed to sit in a radio station to do this, on a TV set to do this. But here we are having this conversation, which I feel may solve a problem in somebody's life. So the tools available to us are enormous, but it is up to us as marketers to know what are we producing, for whom are we producing, how do we communicate value, how will the consumer we are dealing with appreciate value. Then we speak to them in those channels that they understand.
But does traditional marketing still have a place?
Traditional marketing still have a place. The question you must be answering every day is that what it is that I am offering, who is this for? Once you know what it is that you are offering, and you are very clear, like you mentioned, in defining your target, that will help you in selecting your market. For the business I do, the biggest problem is trust. And I have come across people who will only trust you if they saw you on some TV stations. They will trust you if some personality said it, right? I don't want to promote him, but I have met people who said, because James sat on this XYZ station and said it, then this is true, right? People will show up and say that a certain brand personality said that this is good. So what you are saying, even you, the business, what you are saying is not true because this brand ambassador said so.
Honestly, I have a story like that. Yeah. You remember we did a printing thing together, and I think there's some exercise books, and on the exercise book was
Nana Mama Brown.
Yes, it was an Nana Mama Brown, an influencer.
Yeah.
And someone said, "Oh wow, she's on this very thing. I'm patronizing it."
Yeah, we get that a lot from the work we do.
To be honest, I honestly didn't really see the real value of influencer marketing as a new media. until that very thing happened. Because this is me seeing food bloggers and people doing their thing, selling clothes, selling. And my real question has always been, are you just doing my things are you just promoting my items for brand awareness sake, or it's really going to bring me money because sales?
Yeah.
Right. But seeing that very one, I think it actually changed my whole narrative with influencer marketing.
Yeah. So the question always is that, what are we offering? What is the value we want the customer to get? Where is this customer? Which channels can we communicate to this customer through in the most cost-effective manner? Once you're able to tick these boxes, you will not waste time arguing about which channel works, which new media or old media or traditional media works, because there is a very clear understanding of what we have, what it does, and who it is for.
What I'm really getting you, what I'm hearing you say is, yes, trends are cool, old school, still cool. Question is, before you want to roll out any campaign, before you want to start any marketing or sales thing, you need to first ask yourself, where is this person? Who is influencing this person? The market, whatever tool I'm using, whether it be social media channels, whatever it is it for reputation? Is it the direct means to sales? For an example, and right now websites have become like more of a tool as a reputational tool than even where people would go and say, I want purchases for certain businesses. Over here in Ghana, Africa, I'd say e-commerce is really more social format.
Social.
Because someone sees a price online and will still call you that, please can I get this done? Instead of having to run through the seamless process of clicking on something, paying, buying, and oof.
Because we are relational people, we are social beings. That's how our culture is set up. So we want to hear the man on who am I speaking? Where's your office located? I'm sure you've heard that. Like, you're doing a new comment and somebody says, where's your office located?
I get it. I really do get it.
And it is a cultural thing. So as marketers, we must understand that products are built for people. Trends, creative approaches must be designed with the people in mind. That is why there is a people in the 4Ps, and that will never change.
So this is in simple forms. They are saying we should understand cultures of people. That is who they are, where they are from, and where can I meet you.
Yes.
I think this is purely data. How does data work, and how do we use data to influence our targeted marketing performance branding, all of these things. One, even especially in the space where you don't have where digital marketing is growing, so collecting e-data is actually a bit or some way or some form. It's picking up here. I would say it's picking up. But how do we, get data from people? Because I know in earlier times, or still people would run questionnaires, move from home to home, and say fill in the form. Which personally, when you let me fill the form, when I feel it's annoying, I just want you to go whenever writing something and leave. How do we gather data, and how do we implement data?
I think that there's a whole conversation about big data and how it's influenced businesses. So if you are doing traditional marketing, for example, you can trust the likes of Ipsos to give you use scientific tools in gathering data about what are the types of programming on Ghanaian TVs, which groups of people are watching. I know there are also businesses like Dentsu that have very unique way of digging for you data for traditional media. But for social media, you can run your ad analytics and it will give you insight about how your numbers are doing and even benchmark other competitors like yours. So today, you may not need so much to find the data as you think. Once you define your channel, begin to ask questions. You yourself can even build up a simple question online form and blast it across. And by close of day, depending on the people who spread these things, you will get enough data that will help you make decisions. we are in an age where our decisions must be data-driven. And I dare say that it is this age that is the age in which acquiring data is easy than every other age that there has been in human history. Because you can just ask, you can ask people, right? Even on your WhatsApp chats, you can set up a pool. People can give you feedback. But the problem is that do marketers take time to even break down this data and make use of them? I have told you that there is a place in business for going with your gut. But if you would go with your gut, still weigh the options and the consequences and be ready that the consequences is that which you can deal with. Otherwise, play it safe and let data help you with the decision.
Also, your insights on data really works well with me because yes, as I said, I didn't believe in influencer marketing earlier. I thought it was a fast, but probably having that data where you realize that probably this person has influenced this number of people, finding out that like a lot of maybe Gen Zs are on TikTok and how to even present these things to them would even help, even allocate budgets, allocate resources to, and even select channels. How do we target these people and how do we target people? Like, let's say I'm selling X this, how do we find our target market?
It goes back to data, you understand? Because the age is past where you design nice products and find the people to buy. In this age, you find the people and design what they need, what solves a problem in their life.
Cool. What's the future of marketing?
Marketing is exciting. It will continue evolving. Marketing will continue to be relevant so far as there are human beings on it. Because what is marketing? Marketing is finding out what people want, presenting it to them in the way they want, and helping them appreciate the value it brings to them, so they are willing to part with money for it.
Okay, so we should be expecting more.
Expect more continuous evolution because human beings are the most unpredictable animals. And so far as the marketing follows the human being, we will continue to see a lot of changes.
Super exciting, Mark. So I think we might want to have you more.
Thank you very much.
You are running a product, you are running a service, as you earlier on said, you should think sales first, empower whoever is working with you, your teammates, your team, your colleagues, your stakeholders to always have a sales mindset, thinking marketing first. Let's do big things. Cheers.
Sharp.